New developments are taking place every day at SpaceX. Stepping into 2023, SpaceX is all set to make this year a historic one for the company and the overall industry. With the record of a maximum number of launches in 2022, it seems very likely that the record will be broken by SpaceX itself. So what's been happening at SpaceX? Let's find out. Today we are going to talk about the recently shared images and news that have been coming from SpaceX's Texas launch site, where Starship has been fully stacked. There is so much to talk about, so without any further ado, let's dive in and discuss everything there is to know. We all know that Starship is not an ordinary spacecraft. In fact, once it launches successfully, it will become the biggest ever spacecraft to lift off from the face of the Earth. The initial idea of building a heavy lift launch vehicle was pitched in 2005. However, a comprehensive plan for Starship was announced by Elon Musk back in 2015 to 16. According to the founder of SpaceX, Starship is a revolutionary spacecraft that will change the outlook of the whole space industry. This spacecraft is nothing like any of the previously seen spacecraft. Even though NASA has recently launched its SLS rocket system and take over SpaceX's Falcon Heavy, it is nowhere as advanced as the Starship. It's obvious that a rocket of such importance and substance has a lot of anticipation around it. The space community has many expectations from the spacecraft and the private agency, so every little advancement towards the Starship liftoff mission is making headlines these days. Currently, what is breaking the internet is the photo that both SpaceX and Elon Musk shared, where the Starship could be seen stacked over its booster. If you don't know already, Starship was supposed to perform its orbital launch in 2022. Meanwhile, we saw a lot of static tests that were performed over the Super Heavy Booster 7 and Starship Prototype 24. However, all these tests were conducted individually. But now that the stack is complete, it means that the launch could be coming soon. The launch that everyone has been waiting for. SpaceX has tested all 6 engines of the Starship. However, only 14 out of 33 Raptor engines of the booster were tested. So, it's likely that in the coming few days, we will be seeing more static tests in which all 33 engines will be fired before the orbital launch event. According to recent news, the full wet dress rehearsal of the booster and Starship has already been initiated. It's not yet confirmed the percentage to which both Starship and the booster are being filled with the propellant, but the rough estimates say that SpaceX is not fueling up the stack completely for now. They are performing the wet dress rehearsal to perform the preliminary checks of the associated system that will ensure the smooth liftoff of the spacecraft. Currently, the full stack, which measures 396 feet or 120 meters tall, is standing on its orbital launch mount. The video of stacking up was released earlier by SpaceX, in which the chopstick arms of the Mechazilla launch tower were seen lifting the Starship 24, and it was placed over its Booster 7. The same chopstick arms of the Mechazilla will also serve the purpose of catching the booster once it delivers the Starship to orbit and comes back. Chopsticks have perfectly worked performing their hardware placement duties. However, once the launch happens, only then we'll be able to know whether the Mechazilla gets successful in catching the booster. Starship is a huge rocket, thanks to the Mechazilla and the orbital launch mount that are providing it great support while the spacecraft weighing around 5,000 tons stands vertically over it. Previously, it was SpaceX's Falcon Heavy that was the biggest space vehicle of the company in terms of thrust and payload capabilities. In fact, Falcon Heavy is once again active in conducting missions for the United States Space Force these days. The last mission of Falcon Heavy, which lifted off back in November, was also for USSF, and this time again, the huge rocket has been launched from the Kennedy Space Center with USSF's payload inside its fairing area. Not many details have been shared regarding the payload and the purpose that it's going to serve, but considering the authority behind its launch, the satellites that Falcon Heavy is delivering to space will be used to conduct surveillance and other tasks related to defense matters. So, While there's no doubt about the capabilities of Falcon Heavy, which uses 27 Merlin engines, once the 33 Raptor engines of Starship will be fired, everything will change. The current record holder for the biggest rocket is NASA's SLS rocket system. However, that's going to change if Starship's orbital flight goes successfully. To make sure that no unforeseen event takes place during the launch, SpaceX is conducting the tests mentioned earlier. I know many people in the space community are bashing Elon and SpaceX for delaying the launch. However, considering that it is no ordinary spacecraft, the delays are not a big deal. Once SpaceX is done with testing the fuel and propellant systems, it's very likely that another static test of the Starship is incoming. The difference is this time, it won't be 11 or 14 engines out of 33 that will be fired. This time, SpaceX is going to fire all 33 engines of the booster simultaneously. Some people claim that SpaceX is a little bit too liberal towards conducting static tests. As we have seen, that even with Falcon Heavy, which has already conducted several missions successfully, SpaceX conducts a pre-flight test every time before the payload is installed into the rocket. So keeping that in mind, SpaceX conducting static tests for Starship is very normal. There are many hopes attached to the new rocket, including taking humanity back to the moon once again and making a sustainable settlement on Mars. In fact, NASA has awarded the prestigious Human Landing System contract to SpaceX, under which the two agencies will be working together to return the man back to the moon. So this orbital launch flight of Starship is not only important for SpaceX, but NASA is equally looking forward to a successful launch. Once that happens, a lot of great things await humanity in the future. Let's hope that everything from test to the launch sequence goes successfully. The way the stack is shining right now, it is a mesmerizing sight to see the aerial view of it. Once the 33 engines are fired, it's going to be another crazy moment. If SpaceX plans to conduct the launch at night, the light from powerful engines is going to light up the sky. But for now, all we can do is wait for the historic launch day to come. So that's it for the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.